There's a planet lighter than water, a gas giant, second largest in our solar system, so low in density that if an ocean could hold it, it would float like a colossal cosmic buoy. This planet is Saturn, and that fact shatters our intuitive ideas about what a planet should be. It's not just a ball of rock and gas, it's a physical paradox. But Saturn's signature isn't its density, it's the crown it wears. A breathtaking ring system, wrapping around its equator in near-perfect arcs. So vast it could stretch almost the entire distance from Earth to the Moon. Yet in some places, those rings are no thicker than a 3-story building. When Galileo Galilei first aimed his telescope at Saturn in 1610, he didn't see rings. Instead, he noticed something odd: 2 appendages on either side of the planet. He thought they were large moons. It took over 40 years of observations and more powerful instruments before astronomers realized these weren't moons at all. They were a single, rotating structure, a mystery that baffled the greatest minds for decades. Today, we know the truth. Saturn doesn't have just one ring. It has over 100,000 individual rings, each a path for billions of particles. Fragments of ice and rock, ranging from tiny specks to boulders the size of cars, spinning in a silent dance. Today, we'll explore how NASA's missions pierced the veil of this giant's clouds, unveiled the secret behind its rings' origins, and discovered why they sometimes appear and disappear to observers on Earth. But Saturn's biggest mystery isn't about rock or gas, it's about life. The oddities of this world go beyond its rings. What causes this giant planet to flatten, and why does its day rank among the shortest in the solar system? The answer lies in speed. A dizzying, relentless speed. Saturn spins on its axis with such fury that a single day lasts just 10 hours. This centrifugal force acts like an invisible giant's hand, grabbing the planet's equator and stretching it outward. At the same time, it squeezes the poles. The result? Not a perfect sphere, but a flattened spheroid, warped by its own energy. This is physics on an extreme scale, like a whole world distorted by its own rotation. The distortion becomes even more striking once you consider what this world is made of. Saturn has no solid surface, none at all. It's a vast ocean of gas, mostly hydrogen and helium, growing denser and hotter as you dive deeper. There's no rocky crust to resist the deformation, just a colossal gas cloud, obeying the laws of motion like a drop of water on a wildly spinning disk. Saturn's dizzying daily rhythm stands in stark contrast to its epic journey through space. It spins once every 10 hours, yet it takes nearly 30 Earth years to complete a single orbit around the Sun. 29 years and 166 days. That's a stretch of time that shatters our human sense of scale. A child born on Saturn would celebrate their first birthday just as their Earth-bound peers were finishing high school, ready to step into adulthood. For us on Earth, an entire youth passes in the time it takes Saturn to experience a single season. These monstrous stretches of time unfold within an equally monstrous space. Saturn's diameter measures 120,500 kilometers. That's like lining up 9.5 Earths side by side, and its orbit lies nearly 1.43 billion kilometers from the Sun, so distant that sunlight takes over an hour to reach it, losing almost all its intensity along the way. But the giant itself is just the heart of an entire kingdom. A kingdom whose greatest treasures, its rings and moons, hold even deeper secrets. These rings are the key clue in a cosmic mystery. And this clue tells 2 very different stories. One theory says they are as old as the planet itself, ancient, formed alongside the solar system about 4.5 billion years ago from the same swirling disk of gas and dust. But another idea flips that on its head. According to this version, the rings are only 100 million years old. That means back when dinosaurs roamed the Earth, Saturn was just a lonely sphere in the night sky, without its iconic crown. The latest evidence points to this younger timeline, which means we live in a rare moment, witnessing this fleeting, spectacular display. But age isn't the only mystery they hold. There's another one, almost like a cosmic trick. About every 14.8 years, Saturn's rings simply vanish. From Earth, it looks like magic. One day, the majestic rings shine in full glory. The next, they're gone. All that's left is the lonely planet itself. The secret isn't magic, it's geometry. The rings are incredibly thin. When Earth's orbit crosses their plane, our viewing angle shifts. Suddenly, we see the rings edge on. It's like turning a sheet of paper on its side. It becomes a nearly invisible line. But the rings are just the inner courtyard. Saturn's true kingdom stretches far beyond them. Around the gas giant, a whole entourage of 82 known moons revolve. These aren't just lifeless rocks. They form a collection of unique worlds. Some are icy, others rocky. A few are captured wanderers trapped by gravity. Others were born alongside the planet itself. It's a miniature solar system, each object tracing its own orbit, guarding its own secrets. Among these 82 worlds, one shines like a pearl, a moon called Titan. It stretches over 5,000 kilometers across, larger than the planet Mercury. But size isn't what captivates us. Titan stands out as the most Earth-like body in our entire solar system. It boasts a thick atmosphere, rivers, lakes, and seas. Winds sweep across its surface. Seasons come and go, yet it feels like Earth's distorted reflection in a warped mirror. Its rivers don't run with water, but with liquid methane. Its mountains are carved from water ice, solid as granite in its frigid climate. This world feels eerily familiar and utterly alien all at once. For years, mysteries like the age of its rings and the true nature of its lakes existed only as theories, faint glimmers caught in telescope lenses. To unravel them, humanity had to send a messenger, a robot that journeyed for 7 years, sacrificing everything to peer beneath the icy shell of this distant moon. That messenger was the Cassini spacecraft, not just a robot. It was a scientific odyssey that humanity poured decades into. Launched in 1997, it traveled 7 long years through the void of space to reach its destination. Then, for 13 years, it became our eyes and hands in that distant system, carrying on the work of the first scout, Pioneer 11, which flew past Saturn back in 1979. 20 years from launch to finale. A lifetime dedicated to a single planet. This mission completely changed how we search for life. Finding it on the gas giant itself was out of the question. There's nothing there for biology to latch onto. But Cassini didn't just look at Saturn. It studied its entourage. And on one of its moons, a frozen world called Enceladus, it spotted something extraordinary. Geysers shooting straight into space from beneath the ice. When scientists analyzed those plumes, the results stunned them. It was water. Salty water. Clear proof that beneath Enceladus's icy shell lies a global ocean of liquid water, the essential ingredient for life as we know it. On September 15th, 2017, the mission came to an end. Cassini's fuel was running out. To eliminate any risk of contaminating Enceladus or Titan with Earth microbes, they made a tough decision. They sent the spacecraft straight into Saturn's atmosphere. It kept sending data until the very last second, until pressure and heat tore it apart, atom by atom. A heroic finale for the greatest explorer of the outer planets. It burned up completely, becoming part of the world it had studied for 13 years. But its legacy lived on. Cassini didn't deliver the final answer on whether life exists in Saturn's system. Instead, it showed us where to look. It left humanity hope, hidden beneath kilometers of ice on a tiny moon orbiting the gas giant. This epic story, decades of hard work, a journey between worlds, stunning discoveries, and a fiery finale, unfolded in a place that feels unimaginably distant. But it isn't. Saturn stands among the 5 planets in our solar system, visible to the naked eye from Earth. On a clear night, all you have to do is look up. That faint star you see isn't just a point of light. It's a whole kingdom of rings and moons. A place where one of humanity's greatest missions came to an end, and where maybe a new story begins. The story of life beyond our planet.